Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 20th March 2022. Let's see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, today's paper is Sunday's newspaper. So important articles on FAQ page. They are very relevant to our examination and other developments. Let's first of all have the overview of all these articles. Then we will discuss them in detail one by one. So look at these articles, mains related articles, the recent development. 14th India-Japan summit happened recently. The Japanese Prime Minister visited India and there were many such memorandum of understanding and the agreement signed between two countries. And one of the important target they have set up is investment by Japan in India to be increased to $42 billion. Okay, so yes, there is one article on page number 1. So this development will try to cover which are the different agreements signed during this summit, and in further coming days there will be analysis editorial on India-Japan relations also from mains perspective. Then we will discuss that. Then on FAQ page there is one article explaining what is reasonable accommodation. Now why this is in news? Recently Karnataka High Court has given the verdict on hijab row that is going on, or the headscarf row that is going on in Karnataka for the school going students. So there the reasonable accommodation argument was there by the school going children, or we can say that the girls they argued that their use of hijab should be included as a part of reasonable accommodation, as an exception. So we will try to find out the meaning. There can be question in GS2 paper in which areas this particular principle is implemented at national level as well as international level. That is very relevant to our examination. Then Ukraine conflict gives jitters to auto electronic sectors. Now again, the economic impact of Ukraine-Russia conflict that is going on at present. This is very important for our examination. You need to have follow up on these developments. So again, semiconductor industry, which was already stressed because of disruption in supply chain, in the global supply chains during the pandemic times, now facing the problem because the raw material required for the semiconductor is not made available because of this conflict. We will try to find out the details here from GS2 paper IR section as well as GS3 paper economy section. Okay, then what is NPPA's role in fixing drug prices? Now why it is in news? Because recently the government is going to take now the decision on increasing the prices of certain administered drugs, and the government maintains national list of administered or essential medicines, and in that list there is administration of the drug prices. They are kept lower than the market prices so that the poor people have access to these drugs at affordable cost. Okay, so there is increase in input cost because of global commodity prices increasing, and also the we can say oil prices, gas prices are increasing, and the APIs, which is we can say India is very much dependent on these APIs on China. So all these factors are resulting into increasing pressure on the pharmaceutical industry. Now pharmaceutical industry is pressurizing the government to increase the prices of these drugs. Okay, that's why it is in news. We will try to find out the role of NPPA, this statutory authority, regulatory authority, what is the role in drug pricing. Next, for prelims examination, study reveals major decline in golden langur habitat. Okay, so golden langur, which is found in Assam, the only state in India, and adjoining area in Bhutan. So we'll try to find out some basic information about golden langur. There can be question in prelims examination from environment section. Okay, then center has right to expel foreigners. So here the central government is arguing in one of the petition in Supreme Court talking about whether the government has right to expel the foreigners if they breach the visa norms. Okay, so we'll try to find out under which fundamental rights these foreigners are given the fundamental right, which is let's say the precedent that is available with us of Supreme Court 1955 judgment regarding this. So yes, there can be question in prelims or mains examination. It can be used also if suppose the relevant question is there. Okay, so let's go in detail. First, India Japan set target for 42 billion investment. This is good development. Japanese Prime Minister visited India. Already Japan has invested so much in India's infrastructure projects. Okay, be it northeastern India, the infrastructure development in northeast India, or we can say that dedicated freight corridors development in that, or high speed rail, bullet trains. So Japan has invested a lot in infrastructure development. Let us understand which are the new agreements signed here in this visit and the major developments. The memorandum of cooperation in the field of cyber security is signed for the information sharing, capacity building programs and cooperation in the area of cyber security. Okay, so this is one area, new area where the cooperation is being explored. Now the new loans for the projects in connectivity, water supply, sewerage, horticulture, biodiversity conservation in different states. So these new loans has been sanctioned by the Japanese, we can say, government. Memorandum of cooperation on decentralized domestic wastewater management to introduce Jokasau technology in India by Japanese companies for decentralized wastewater treatment. It is used in areas where sewage infrastructure has not yet been developed. Okay, so this particular technique, which is very efficient technique, we can say that wastewater treatment, it is used for wastewater treatment. Okay, so for that purpose also the memorandum of understanding has been signed. India-Japan Industrial Competitiveness Partnership Roadmap, a memorandum of cooperation on sustainable urban development. Then Clean Energy Partnership for cooperation in areas such as electric vehicles, storage systems including batteries, vehicle charging infrastructure. Basically, it is going to help us to have the transition towards cleaner energy sources. The objective is encouraging manufacturing in India, creation of resilient and trustworthy supply chains in these areas, and it will be implemented through existing mechanism of energy dialogue between these two countries. Okay, so remember this Clean Energy Partnership, India-Japan. So you should be aware about the bilateral cooperation between major countries. India-Japan cooperation has increased a lot. You should be aware about the cooperation in different areas, be it political cooperation in international area, or strategic cooperation, or geopolitical, we can say, geopolitical, strategic, economic. आप आंसर में इसको ऐसे डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, एंड देन यू कैन टॉक अबाउट जियोपॉलिटिकल, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट क्वाड, then strategic you can talk about, let's say, whatever the bilateral and multilateral exercises, defense agreements between two countries, economic, trade and investment, ये सारी चीज़ें आप उसमें आंसर में लिख सकते हैं. So have the follow up on bilateral and multilateral relations. Okay, overlooking reasonable accommodation. Yes, the context here is recently Karnataka High Court has given the judgment regarding judgment in favor of state circular that students in educational institutions should only wear prescribed uniforms, and where no code was prescribed they should wear such attire that would accord equality and integrity and would not disrupt public order. So essentially we can say that the court has we can say denied the entry to the students wearing the hijab. Also the court rejected an argument in support of permitting Muslim girls wearing headscarves that was based on the principle of reasonable accommodation. Now, what is this particular argument? Let's understand. This is very important. It can be asked in the prelims also. Reasonable accommodation means that there can be a kind of disability or a kind of, we can say that, physical or non-physical hurdles of the person is facing in having access to a particular service or particular infrastructure, and because of that what happens is there is lack of inclusiveness. For example, this particular term is very important for those differently able people or disabled people. For their inclusion, this principle is implemented not only in India but also at international level. For example, in India, the Rights of People with Disabilities Act, this includes this reasonable accommodation principle. That means spatial arrangements are supposed to be done so that the people, differently able people, are able to have access to the infrastructure, information, everything. So it is a kind of, we can say that, ensuring equality, inclusiveness in a access to that particular service or good, we can say. So this principle that promotes equality, enables grant of positive rights and prevents discrimination is based on the disability, health condition or personal belief. It is used in primarily in disability rights sector. So see, this personal belief, this particular aspect has been, we can say, invoked in this argument by the Muslim girls, reasonable accommodation. Now, how does this principle work? A very important aspect one should understand. Generally, this principle is, we can say that the reasonable accommodation should be provided unless some undue hardship is caused by such accommodation. So that means if let's say there is a scope for extra accommodation or inclusion, then that should be done. If suppose that extra accommodation is impacting severely the rights of the common people, then there can be, we can say, exception, but the focus should be on more and more inclusion. जैसे हम देखते हैं कि जो बसेस होते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो बसेस लो फ्लोर बसेस जो है, समझो आजकल मेट्रो सिटीज़ में, तो वो व्हील चेयर फ्रेंडली होता है. सो दैट मीन्स डिफरेंटली एबल पीपल, दोज हु आर सिटिंग ऑन द व्हील चेयर, दे कैन हैव एक्सेस टू दीज बसेस, right? So that is, we can say that, the reasonable accommodation, and it is not impacting the rights of other people, ठीक है. So that is, we can say that it is promoting equality, it enables grant of positive rights on those people and prevents discrimination. Okay, now in 2016, International Labour Organization ILO came out with practical guide on promoting diversity and inclusion through workplace adjustment. Now we know that at workplace, so as to have the inclusive participation, many people face many hurdles, and important hurdle is that the religious belief systems. Many people have different religious belief system, and that's why according to their religious practices, they have different attires, their different religious practices that may act as a hurdle in accessing the workplace, or we can say giving 100% to the workplace. And that's why reasonable accommodation has been included as a part of this ILO. The need for the workplace accommodation may arise in variety of situations, but 4 categories of workers were chosen for the guide. Look here, very important. Workers with disabilities, first one. Workers living with HIV and AIDS, of course they require some extra kind of, we can say that, accommodation. Pregnant workers, they also require extra kind of accommodation. And we can say that workers who hold a particular religion or belief. This 4th one, we can say that this aspect has been included in international agreements also, international conventions also. Okay, along with that, what is the legal position on this in India? So this Disabilities Act 2016, this include the reasonable accommodation principle. Along with that, the Supreme Court elaborated on this principle in Vikas Kumar versus UPSC 2021 case, where UPSC allowed this differently able person to write the mains examination with a scribe. ठीक है, तो उनको particular type of deformities या एक we can say that disability था. So the UPSC was not allowing that person to use the scribe. Now the Supreme Court allowed that person to write the mains examination here, and in that judgment it has also said that not giving reasonable accommodation amounts to discrimination. Okay, so it means that it is the responsibility of the government to provide for reasonable accommodation. To provide for reasonable accommodation, otherwise it will be kind of discrimination. ठीक है, तो ये at present this is the legal position about this in India. So you should be aware about the meaning of the principle and international agreement, one or two examples, and in India what is the situation. ठीक है, of course there will be appeals in Supreme Court about this High Court judgment. We will see how Supreme Court approaches to this particular judgment of High Court. ठीक है. Next, Ukraine conflict gives jitters to auto electronics sectors. Now, why it is in news? Because semiconductor sector or semiconductor industry, which uses raw material, the raw material that is used is neon gas, chemical C4F6 and palladium, which are very much critical for semiconductor manufacturing. They are sourced largely from Ukraine and Russia, especially neon gas. Around 60 to 70% of the supply of neon gas is from Ukraine only, and that has stopped. Okay, and that's why, of course, already the semiconductor industry was facing problem because of pandemic, disruption in global supply chains, and Indian automakers, which uses of course this semiconductor chips, the shortage of semiconductor chips has made impact on automobile sector also. So the experts are of the view that India's consumer appliance sector will be impacted more, like for example steel sector, semiconductor shortage is expected to put pressure on the supply of smartphones, laptops, automobiles. So in sectors पे impact होगा. Some facts: Ukraine caters almost 70% of world's neon demand, and neon gas is a byproduct of Russian steel plants, which is then filtered and supplied by Ukrainian companies. तो ऐसे उसका supply होता है all over the world. Of course, we need to understand the economic impact of Ukraine-Russia conflict. There can be question specifically from economy perspective. ठीक है, तो GS3 पेपर से ये follow up रखना है. Then, what is NPPA's role in fixing drug prices? Yes. So why it is in news? Context one should understand. Consumers may have to pay more for medicines and medical devices if National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority NPPA allows a price hike of over 10% in drugs and devices listed under NLEM, National List of Essential Medicine, this month. Okay, so every month or from time to time NPPA revises the costs of, or we can say prices of, these essential drugs maintained in this list, NLEM. Okay, now the escalation which is expected to have an impact on nearly 800 drugs and devices propelled by rise in wholesale price index. तो ये कैसे impact हो रहा है, कैसे price rise होता है, क्या mechanism है, one should understand this. How does the pricing mechanism work? The prices of the scheduled drugs in this NLEM are allowed an increase each year by drug regulator in line with wholesale price index, WPI, not CPI. ये आपको पता होना चाहिए prelims के लिए भी. And annual change is controlled and rarely crossed 5%. But the pharmaceutical players pointed out that over the past few years, input costs have flared up. So there can be increase of 5 to 10%. Up till now, on an average 5% annual increase हुआ है, तो वो बढ़ सकता है. Why? Because there is inflation and high WPI index we have seen, wholesale price index. All medicines under NLEM are under price regulation, while some of them, as per Drugs Control Order 2013, scheduled drugs, about 15% of pharma market are allowed an increase by government as per WPI, while rest of the 85% are allowed automatic increase of 10% every year. ठीक है, तो कंसर्न जो है ये WPI से रिलेटेड जो है उसका है. Then who regulates prices? So basics about this NPPA, again you should know some basics. NPPA was set up in 1997 to fix the prices of controlled bulk drugs and formulations to enforce price and availability of the medicines in the country under Drug Order 2013, latest one. Okay, so this is statutory body we can say, and it is having the mandate of regulating the drug prices and device prices. Its mandate is to implement and enforce provisions of this drug control order in accordance with the powers delegated to it. Then it is also mandated to collect and maintain data on production, export and imports and market share of companies in pharma industries. Prices are revised when there is rise in the price of bulk drugs. What is bulk drugs? Basically, bulk drugs are the intermediate drugs which are used like APIs. Okay, and these APIs are major source of import from China. India is very much dependent on these bulk drugs on China. ठीक है, तो उसका प्राइस बढ़ गया है. रॉ मटेरियल, कॉस्ट ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट, फ्रेट रेट्स, यूटिलिटीज लाइक फ्यूल, पावर, तो उसके ऊपर काफ़ी डिपेंड करता है इसका प्राइस ड्रग्स का. एनुअल हाइक इन द प्राइसेस ऑफ ड्रग लिस्टेड इन NLEM इज बेस्ड ऑन WPI. ओके, सो मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग्स जो होते हैं जो कम्युनिकेबल एंड नॉन कम्युनिकेबल डिसीजेस के लिए यूज़ होता है, कॉमन पीपल हैव अफोर्डेबल एक्सेस to these drugs, they are included in the scheduled drugs. Okay, study reveals major decline in golden langur habitat. golden langur habitat का जो एरिया है आसाम में adjoining Bhutan, so one of the studies suggests that there is decline in habitat of golden langur. Okay, endangered primate species. Let's know more about this golden langur, found only in Assam and parts of Bhutan, endemic to semi-evergreen and mixed deciduous forest. IUCN status endangered, Schedule 1 species under Wildlife Protection Act. It is listed among the world's 25 most endangered primates. Threats: habitat fragmentation, electricity wires. Basically, they do not live in vicinity of the people. They live on the tree branches. They do not come down on the ground frequently. They move from one branch to other branch, and that's why the obstruction is because of electric wires. And live wires के touch में आने के बाद वो मर जाते हैं. This is one of the threat that they are facing in Assam. Okay. Now, center has a right to expel foreigners. So here in one of the case before Supreme Court, Union government wants Supreme Court's help to frame law with long lasting implications on rights of foreigners who violate visa conditions. At present there is one precedent, 1955 Supreme Court case. Okay, what is that case? Hans Muller of Nuremberg versus Superintendent, 1955 case. In this judgment, the Constitution bench, 5-judge bench, held that center had an absolute and unfettered right to expel foreigners. The judgment took into consideration the prospect of foreign nationals being detained before expulsion. Okay, and for that purpose, now one should understand that Article 21 guarantees protection of personal liberty to the citizen and foreigners alike. No person can be deprived of his personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Now this was the interpretation in the early cases, but the broader interpretation in Maneka Gandhi case, here you can see 7-judge bench in Maneka Gandhi case interpreted word law in established by law as expression of, we can say, to be the law which must be right, just and fair and not arbitrary, fanciful or oppressive. That means the formation, or simply we can say framing of law, should be also just. So we can say that Article 21 also includes the procedure established by law and due process of law. Okay, so the process of making law should be also just, right and fair. So from that aspect one should understand this right is available equally to the citizen of India and foreigner. Although we can say foreigners can be detained, but they cannot, we can say their right to life and liberty cannot be taken away, okay, except in accordance with procedure established by law. Okay, so this aspect one should understand. And for prelims examination, of course, the rights which are available to Indians and foreigners, which are not available to foreigners, that can be asked in the prelims examination. The rights which are 20, 21, 22, they are available to the foreigners. Also Article 14, and we can say that articles related to religion and the freedom, religious freedom. So 25, 26, 27, 28, they are available to the foreigners also. ठीक है, तो ये सारी चीज़ें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Now, what should be answer to this question? Yes, so the statement is related to golden langur. We have to find the correct statement. It is endemic to India. This is incorrect, right? It is not endemic to India. It is also found in Bhutan. It is found only in the state of Assam in India. This is correct. It is an endangered species. This is also correct. So correct statement 2 and 3, that is B is the correct statement or correct answer. Fine? Okay. So these are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Thank you.